Hello all and welcome to week 3. The focus of week 3 is on what we call meta-linguistic knowledge. This is where we get to the editing part of your course. Meta-linguistic knowledge means knowledge of how language works, and so the focus of this week's activities is for you to become more conscious about your language use and how language works in your essays. There are 2 or 3, depending on how you count them, activities this week. One is a grammar log, and you'll see that here. You'll see that this is a Google Doc. And so when you click on the Google Doc, you'll see the explanation for the grammar log. So what you'll need to do first is make a copy of this. So go to make a copy, and then you'll put this on your own drive wherever you want. And that copy of the grammar log is one that you'll be able to edit. This one, because it's mine, I can edit, but you couldn't edit. So what you'll see here is that you're going to look over your original text with my grammar notes. Those grammar notes are on a document that I'm sending to you this afternoon, Friday afternoon. And in it you will see numbers. Those numbers correspond to descriptions of rules on this editing coach. So you want to download the Microsoft Word editing coach and look at your essay and then complete this editing coach. Let's see if I can get that open so that you can track the number of errors that I've identified, not really errors, the number of what I'm calling deviations from standardized edited academic writing. And so if you look at this editing coach, you'll see that you can just put tick marks to see how many times that error or that deviation is noted on your essay. That will help you decide which are the ones that are the most important for you to track on your grammar log. You'll choose at least 3 kinds of deviations, 3 ways that you've used the language, used English in ways that are not exactly what we would expect in an English class in the university. And then you will fill out the chart. You'll take one of the sentences with the marked usage from your writing and paste it into that first column. Then from the editing log or the Grammar Bytes website, you'll write an explanation. You'll name the usage. And then in your own words, you'll explain why the usage that you have in your essay doesn't fit the rules. Now, you may be able to understand that from just looking at the editing coach, or you may need to go to this Grammar Bytes website, which is also linked here. And you'll see the Grammar Bytes has terms, it has exercises that will help you work on your grammar. So what they call comma splices and fused sentences on the editing log is number 1. It's called sentence boundaries. And so there are exercises here. There are also explanations, handouts, explanations, PowerPoints, etc. So you can use all of those to explain why the usage doesn't fit the rule. This is where you're building your meta-linguistic knowledge and awareness. Then once you've understood the rule, then you'll rewrite the sentence, and then you'll explain why you rewrote it the way you did. So you do that for at least 3 different kinds of uses. So for instance, if you've got, you won't use 3 sentences that are marked with a number 1 next to them. You might use a sentence that's marked with number 1, a sentence that's marked with number 18a, and a sentence that's marked with number 6. All right, so you have to use different types of errors or different types of usages. So that's one activity. When you're done with that, you'll download your grammar log, the one that you've typed on, as a Microsoft Word document, and you'll upload it here. Now the next task that you're doing, there are only really 2, well, 3, including your reflection, is that you are going to record yourself reading your text aloud. But here's the trick, is that you're going to read your text sentence by sentence from the last sentence to the first sentence. So for example, on this paragraph that I showed you in one of my examples for this week's or last week's, depending on when you're seeing the video, exercises, here's how I would read it. When we answer that question, we have arrived at a conclusion and are ready to make a claim. And then I would go back. Although in many academic contexts in the US, we present our arguments with claim coming first, we develop those claims by first exploring data to answer a question. And then we go back. What we think of as a thesis statement, Toulmin calls a claim, and he suggests that the claim is the conclusion of reasoning. Hopefully you get the idea now. The reason that you do this is that reading the sentences from the last sentence to the first sentence will help you focus on the language and the sentence itself, rather than getting caught up in your meaning and losing track of exactly what you've written on the page. Because we fill in for ourselves. When we have written something on the page, we fill in the correct usage, or what we would expect, rather than necessarily what's actually on the page. Reading backwards sentence by sentence will help you to avoid that and to read exactly what's on the page. So you're going to record yourself. You can use your phone, you can use your computer. If you use your computer, you can use Zoom and just turn the video off or turn the video on, however you want it. And then you'll upload that recording to iLearn in the same way that you did all of the other documents. If you have trouble doing that, remember that you can email me. And remember, too, that I also have Zoom office hours on Wednesday afternoons from 4 to 5. And just a reminder that there's a link to those Zoom open office hours right up here in your iLearn site. Okay, and then finally, of course, you'll do your weekly reflection, thinking about how much time you spent on each exercise. And here I'm asking you to include whatever grammar study you had to do in order to fill out your grammar log. What was challenging? And what did you learn? Okay, I hope you find this useful. It seems like folks have found the activities that we've been doing so far helpful. And I look forward to seeing your work. I will be sending you some things this afternoon, Friday afternoon, and the rest over the weekend.